Hey, hi guys, how are you doing today? Meeting you once again on the same day, and something very exciting. We have a veteran in the space of sustainability joining us today. But first of all, I am Kinshuk from Honest. Honest is your guide in your sustainability living. We help you identify the choices, curate the choices for you, and measure the impact of all your actions in sustainability living. Okay. Today we are joined by Poonam Bir Kasturi. She's a veteran in the space of sustainability, and there is so much to learn from us. I'm really excited about this. So let me just get her on board. Okay, I think this is taking slightly longer. Manu, can you check, please, once if Poonam is ready to join? Till then, I will tell our guests an interesting feature that we have brought out. So now on Honest, we have one more feature. We want you to measure your sustainability, your footprint, and hence you will be able to see how much plastic you have saved over a period of time while shopping on Honest. That's the exact amount of plastic that could have gone into landfills, which eventually breaks down into microplastic, enters our water system, enters our food, right? We are surrounded by it, so we must act to take plastic out of our lives. Honest helps you do that, and now we also help you measure the impact, right? I think Poonam has joined, so let me just get her in. Yeah, so do log into Honest, see how much plastic you have saved. And there is something exciting coming up there as well, which you will see a week from now.
Hi.
Hello, hi Poonam ma'am. It's such a pleasure to meet you. I mean, thinking about sustainability and starting something in 2006, it's an amazing story. So I'm very excited to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having Daily Dump on this. I'm really glad that we are talking because we are reaching out to you for your platform and to use your platform to spread our work. So thank you very much for that, creating that platform. How's it going?
Oh, it's actually going very well because
Yeah.
yeah, in fact, to be honest, we haven't spent much on marketing. It's practically bootstrapped, but the
Oh,
result that we are seeing in terms of adoption and also in terms of encouragement in, so our own hypothesis was that only cities will worry about you know, or sustainability or choices. But our orders are coming pan India from tier two towns, and it's
yes.
very encouraging to see how many composters we have sold, and
Mm.
so it's really a, a great experience. And we're reaching out to our customers to get a lot of feedback in terms of what can change and basis that we are also evolving our site. So
Mm. Mm. Mm.
like now if you log into Honest, you will be able to see how much plastic you have personally saved by shopping on Honest. So all those things really help, because one complaint from people was that they don't know the impact of what they're doing, so we're trying
Mm.
to quantify that. Yeah, so it's been great. um,
That's
we quit,
nice.
yeah, we quit our jobs last year to do this. Hopefully we'll be able
Yeah.
to make a difference in this space. That's the plan.
Very nice. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mm.
uh, coming to you, so you started way back in 2006. What was the trigger? What was the trigger then? I don't think many people were discussing sustainability at that point in time.
Yeah, it was not mainstream, but there were institutions. CSC, Anil Agarwal of CSC, had already done some work. Toxic links.
Hmm.
Again, they had done some work. Um, Chintan had done a lot of work in Delhi. So I think there were murmurings at that time,
Sure.
but a lot more work was happening at the academic or the research side. It
Hmm.
was not mainstreamed at all.
Hmm.
And even in design, in my own discipline, it was still a fringe thing, right? It was
Yeah.
not mainstream at all. There was no money in it, absolutely no money, right? Nobody was going to say this is something that people, and there was no demand. So, by market jargon, unless there's demand, then, how can the supply be created? So, we actually built the demand. We monetized what was an externality. Waste is an externality. And we monetized it. We took the risk to build the demand. And I think that's what triggered. And we also located the innovation in the space where it was not in the research space or not in the industry space, but it was in the daily space.
Yeah.
I think for
Yeah.
us that was very important.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it was not jargonified, it was not made to be like inaccessible. And I think that has set the trend for a lot of people who've come after, because I think they've realized that that's the way to get to people and get people to act and, join the. Everybody needs to be part of it, right? So it can't be only
True.
some
True.
elite people who understand the nuances of it. It should be accessible to everybody.
Absolutely. And the design that you have, or the principles that you speak of, I mean, it's terracotta, and it embodies artisanal work. It looks fabulous. So a lot of thought put into the solution. It's not
Yes, yes.
just functionality, but also the aesthetic aspect of it is absolutely amazing.
No, not only the aesthetic, the behavioral aspect. You were setting a new norm.
Hmm.
And you understood all the barriers for the norm to get created. No one was buying in for that. So you had to battle against all of that. So your solution had to actually sneak its way through all the barriers. Yeah. And the
Absolutely.
barriers were very, very largely mindsets.
And now a lot. In fact, I started composting, I think 6 months ago, and it has been really enriching. And now I realize that the byproduct. I love growing things, and the byproduct was that I can throw any seed in that compost and it germinates, because it's
Yeah.
such a
Yeah.
fertile
Yeah.
soil, right? And then you can pick it up and plant it anywhere else. So it's
Yeah.
just it was a great byproduct. Uh, People keep telling me, how can you grow a mango tree in in your balcony? But I tell them, yeah, till the time that I can, I will, and then I'm sure we'll find a place to plant it. But it's
Yeah.
been a great experience,
Yeah.
and I think you started it when probably no one was doing it, so that's just amazing. If there was one thing you wanted people to know about Daily Dump, what would that be?
I think it's a company that is trying to figure out how does one locate one's work and one's life in that short time you have on earth. It's an inquiry. I think Daily Dump is an inquiry. It's my own personal inquiry to figure out what makes sense. uh, how does one locate oneself in this big universe, right? And it's
Wow.
so big, and how do you make sense of it? And how do you do it through your work? How do you do it through your action? How do you do it through your thinking? I think it's yeah. So I think Daily Dump would, for me, though it doesn't seem like that from outside, the words that I used are social enterprise and all of that. Fact remains, it's basically an inquiry. It's an experiment.
That's a very deep answer. How do you keep an organization in experiment for 15 years? Like, how does that happen? Because mostly what happens is they kind of become dull or sluggish, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
status quo. How do you keep it that
So it's
inquiry
like
aspect?
asking, how does soil regenerate itself, right? It has seasons. You can't expect, our expectation is that everything is going to be like this one static, beautiful space. Nothing exists like that. It has its ups, it has downs, and the seasons are what really is amazing. And you have to weather all of it.
Hmm.
There's a joke inside my company. We say the Daily Dump Training Academy, we also do composting. So you have a lot of young people come through, and you train them and you teach them whatever you can, and then they go on, because this place doesn't have the kind of remuneration possible from the IT or the mainstream sectors, right? So that is also something that organizations like us have to deal with.
Sure. Yeah. 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 That is very interesting. That's true as well. Uh, And I keep seeing posts of daily dump, something going on all the time, right? This weekend, I think there was a yellow bazaar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wish at times I feel, what am I doing in Bombay?
Bangalore is a
I should,
nice place.
yeah, I should be there. But the thing is, how does that work? I mean, is it daily dump's effort? How does the whole community? Because eventually it is about a community, right? So how does the whole community become active and do so much?
I think I've always had an amazing team. Even if they stay only for a year or so, they've always been very committed. They have their own energy, they're self motivated. Um, they're young, so that energy is there.
Hmm.
Um, and I think they come from that. So, when people who ask to join Daily Dump are themselves a little different
Hmm. Sure.
because Daily Dump is not even the standard social enterprise. We don't fall even into that slot.
So it's a self-selection process. It's like, uh,
Yes, yes. We have another joke in our office. People drop into us. Yeah, yeah.
wow. All right. And to all the people who are listening to us, and many have joined, and thank you all of you for joining. What is if there was one product of Daily Dump that you would like them to experience? What would that be?
Again, there's a joke we have. I would like them to experience the ooze stopper. It's a non-product product. It's my favorite product. Everybody laughs at me in my office because it's what 120 rupees. It doesn't do anything, but for me, it's a very important product. It's it is the kind of products that we all need more and more of. How do we remind ourselves? How do we do something better? How do we do small things well? How do we do the right things? Even if we take the right thing and we make a mistake, it's still better than doing the wrong thing right. So I think that for me, Ooze Stopper epitomizes that to me.
What does it do?
It collects all your batteries.
Oh, okay. Wow,
It's
that's
a
great.
little book, and it's really it's a very simple thing. It's like something people say, but this shouldn't be a product. But the point is that you don't collect your batteries safely.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
In fact, I carried my batteries from 2007 to 2012. I actually didn't know what to do with them. And
Yeah.
I was feeling very guilty to throw it away. So, my shaving razor left over and the battery I carried for 5 whole years. Then, I could, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um, um, so, so that is the product. All right. And, I mean, you have been I mean, veteran in this space, right? So what is the sustainability habit that you are very happy about that you imbibed in your life?
I think I never let sustainability become an ideology. I don't I don't have the need to constantly tell people what they're doing wrong because that becomes an ideological stand. People are doing wrong, right? They are going to do right.
Sure.
I think you need to approach it from a completely different creative mindset, not from this vigilante or this accusative kind of thing. Because there are lots of things you yourself also do wrong, no?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not 100% sustainable person. Like, I mean, I remember I met this professor. I really liked his work. Not even professor; he was a thinker. He said the only ecological person is the dead person, because otherwise your very living makes you are creating an impact.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, so you have to be a little humble about your own sustainability. You can't think, oh, there's this unique, ideal world. There's nothing like that. You can only do better.
True. Got it. Uh, and that brings me to a challenge that I think I have been facing, because sustainability is not absolute, right? So you are in a way always uh, a little bit apologetic because it's not perfect, right? How
Yeah,
how
yeah,
how how do you kind of bridge that gap? Because for there are many people in marketing who can say many things, but if you try to be honest about what you are trying to claim, it's better for sure, but it's never 100% because uh, eventually it is we have an impact, right? So how do you deal with that?
yeah. I think it's a very valid thing. I think people working in this space have more imposter syndrome than other people,
Yes,
uh, and they are more apologetic, like you rightly put it. And that's a sad bit, right? We shouldn't be apologetic. Uh, People who sell, really shitty stuff are not apologetic.
true.
So why are we apologetic? So I think you slowly find a voice because you realize that there is only gray out there. That's like going back to this thing about there is this sustainability cannot become an ideology.
Hmm.
It cannot be that my way is right and your way is not right. Then what's the difference between religion and all the wars through religion? We'll fight wars through sustainability also.
True, true. Wow. In fact, every word that you're saying is so full of wisdom that I am thinking we should have one more podcast session with you. So we will figure out a time for that as well. Uh, but because it's Instagram in a different format. But tell me, what do you like? I don't know if you are so involved in the listing process of Honest or whatever. But what do you like about Honest, if it has come in your radar so far?
I think that I think from what I've seen of your page on Instagram and all that, what I like is that you're taking some effort in actually promoting the use of the products that you're selling. It's not only listing, right? You're not looking at it
Yeah.
only as listing, like Amazon just lists things, right? Um, you're trying to make the customer understand it better, clarify doubts. Those are important things. And like you said, this idea of that they get the impact measured
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
an important thing.
Okay. So yeah, that's been our focus. We want people to because we speak to a lot of people, and the big thing is that we are not able to see the effect of what we are doing, and and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then it gets disillusion sets in because many people around you are not following these. So then it becomes kind of difficult if they don't see the impact. That's what our attempt has been. Uh, we have just started. It's been what, 3 months, but hopefully we will do a lot more going forward. So yeah, that was the reason for adding those things.
yeah.
Uh, and and thank you so much. Thank you for taking time out. And I
You're
can see
welcome.
so many people have joined in and listened to us. So people who joined in, do check out the ooze stopper product that ma'am spoke about, and we will put it on our Insta as well tomorrow, so you will be able to see it. So that's a good way to control your e-waste. So yeah, and thanks a lot, ma'am, for taking time out. It's been a pleasure, and we will connect for more conversations soon.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. My pleasure. Thank you so much. And
Thank
I
you so
wish you
much.
all the very best. Yeah. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.